We're going to call the meeting to order at 6 o'clock. Dr. Ball?
Yes, thank you for joining us tonight. And Roger will lead us in the invocation and the pledges.
Please stand if you are able. Lord, we are grateful for the opportunity to gather together, united and committed to the success of our students. May this meeting remind us that every discussion, every decision, every plan we make carries the potential to shape a young person's future. Tonight, we also lift our hearts in the spirit of hope for peace within our neighborhoods, across our state, and throughout our nation. May we find ways to bridge divides, listen to one another with compassion, and seek understanding. In our own community, may we set an example of respect and unity that will help bring people together. May we find unity in our shared purpose and clarity in our vision to serve every child with excellence. We ask all these things through you, because through you all things are possible. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay. Jenny, recognitions?
Good evening, everyone. We will begin with Big Country Elementary. Would Zayden Venancio please come forward? Zayden is the first Golden Bear Buck recipient for the 25-26 school year. Zayden is always doing something nice to help someone else because he cares. He earned the Golden Bear Buck by rushing to help a classmate when they spilled all of their supplies on the floor. His campus is very proud that he's a part of the Big Country family. Way to go, Zayden. Next up is Bob Hope Elementary's Osirio Rodriguez. He may not be here just yet, so we'll move on to McCullough Middle School. Harlow Rodriguez, please come forward. Harlow is Student of the Month because she sets a great example for what it means to be a rocket and models the rocket way in all she does. Harlow is respectful, kind, and always looking for the positive in every situation. Harlow is a member and featured vocalist in the McCullough Mariachi Dulce Alegria, an active member in the Penguin Project, secretary of the National Junior Honor Society, and president of the Junior Thespians. Additionally, Harlow is a multi-sport athlete who currently excels in volleyball and also excels academically. We are proud to recognize Harlow for being rocket strong. Next up is Castem High School with Yelena Oralia. There we go. Please come forward. Yelena, an 11th grade student, Yelena is being celebrated for the impressive growth she has demonstrated during her time at Castem. She has consistently shown a strong work ethic and a willingness to take on challenges. In the classroom, Yelena is deeply committed to her studies, often going above and beyond to complete her assignments with diligence. This year, she continues to push herself academically by enrolling in dual credit classes at Palo Alto College and is currently taking 10 college credit hours. Beyond academics, Yelena has a natural artistic talent. Last year, she entered a costume design contest and won first place. Yelena is an exceptional student, and her growth has been inspiring for all. We are truly fortunate to have her as part of our school community. Congratulations.
If the parents of these wonderful individuals or any family members of these individuals, will you please stand? Let them recognize you. Thank you all so much. Y'all may be seated. We're so proud of you. Keep up the great work, okay? Great work. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you.
And now for our rising stars. Our rising stars have shown incredible growth, making positive changes and improving attendance. We are confident that their hard work will continue to have a positive impact on their entire school experience at Southwest ISD. The winners are Giovanni Moreno from Resnick Middle School, we also have Abigail Banda from Southwest High School, and Indian Creeks is unable to be here. That was Israel Sepulveda.
If the family members to these individuals, will you please stand? We'd like to recognize you also.
Okay, now we have a student from Southwest Elementary being recognized for academics. Would Samuel Magruder please come forward? We're so proud to announce that Samuel Magruder, a current fourth grade student at Southwest Elementary, has been selected as a National Math Star, chosen from thousands of students across the country after a rigorous assessment of their unique abilities. Samuel will receive 10 years of support for additional educational opportunities. These include mentorship, advanced math programs, STEM, coding competitions, and more, all free to families and communities. This award is worth $100,000. Way to go, Samuel. You're showing us all what's possible with talent together. And your camp.
This is also for you. We are so proud of you. So proud of you.
It's definitely about creating opportunities for our students. Awesome, awesome. That's good job, right? Perfect. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Our family will please stand. We'd like to recognize you.
And now we have a recognition for our Fine Arts Department. Southwest ISD has been honored with the Best Communities for Music Education designation from the NAM Foundation for its outstanding support and commitment to music. Now in its 26th year, the Best Communities for Music Education designation is awarded to districts that demonstrate outstanding achievement for providing music access and education to all students. 2 awards are presented each year, the Best Communities for Music Education for school districts and the Support Music Merit Award for individual school sites. Both reach K-12 schools and districts throughout the U.S. and offer opportunities to increase awareness and support for music programs. To qualify for the Best Communities designation, Southwest answered detailed questions about funding, graduation requirements, music class participation, and instruction time for facilities and support for the music program. It's their 7th consecutive year for this designation. So
Awesome.
congratulations. That concludes our recognitions.
Do we have anybody that signed up?
We do not.
We're going to take a couple of minutes recess just so that if you'd like to leave, you can leave. The rest is just regular, boring school business. So feel free to leave. Thank you so much for coming. Okay, we're gonna go back, we're gonna start again. Next up, we have the consent agenda. Board members, you've had that. Do you have any questions?
I move.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions? Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you. Consent agenda is approved. Moving on to item 6, items of information. Construction update.
Yes, man. We have Thomas. He's going to come up and start introducing some of the folks here. I was like, I don't know where he went.
Good evening. Yes, so we're going to start this evening with the new central office. So Andrew and Bob are here to go through that report. Well, it's on there. I didn't want to mess it up.
It's on the thing?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay, because it's different now, so. Hang on, sir. It's okay. Here? Okay, just open them up.
Thank you.
All right, Dr. Ball and members of the board, good evening. My name is Andrew Bettis with RVK Architects, and we're here to give you a quick update on the progress for the central office. So jumping right into it. These are some of the exterior renderings, as you'll recall, that show the finished product. We are very nearly complete. I think we're about 94%, as you'll see towards the end of the presentation. We've got some updated drone footage that takes us around the building, and the majority of what you're going to see here is the activity involving completion of the exterior materials, as well as some of the formwork for the new pavement that's going in. And so each day that passes, more and more pavement is showing up on site, and so we're getting closer and closer to being done. So we'll very quickly take you around the building here. You can see the exterior materials are nearing completion again, as mentioned. Some of the driveways have been roughed out, and then the formwork is taking place. Here you can actually see some of the sidewalks leading to the building that have been poured and are being poured. You can see one of the driveways that's been poured adjacent to the building right here as well. Going back around then, more of the exterior masonry finishes, and then leading back around to the front. When we get into some more of the context for the actual building finishes, we've got the SWISD and the shield up for the front signage. And I believe we've confirmed that we have some additional signage that'll be installed on the building as well. So I know that came up during subcommittee, so we did confirm that. Going around the corner here, you can see some of the pavement that's been poured for the driveways here. So we've got concrete pavement going in. When we get inside the building, you can see the decorative light fixture that's been installed in the foyer area. So a couple of good shots of that there. We know it's a high important item there. When you get into the business and finance and curriculum and instruction areas, you can see the carpet is being installed. We're also seeing millwork installation going on, paint touch-ups, so on and so forth. So again, we're getting really close to being done here. This is actually the new boardroom. So you can see the millwork for the dais that's been installed. It's currently covered to be protected, but the countertop and everything has been installed in there. And you can see the carpet in the backside of the boardroom as well. As far as project details, we, again, as mentioned, we've got about 94% completion through today. Exterior work is in progress with site grading, concrete and asphalt paving, curbs, sidewalks, sealant, signage, landscape irrigation, and planting and fencing is also in progress. When we move to the interior of the building, interior doors are being installed. We've got 94% of the ceramic tile, tape and floating, millwork cabinets, the elevator, mechanical equipment is in the process of having test and balance done. We've got electrical complete. Plumbing is 99% complete. Fire alarm is in testing mode. And data cabling is also about 94% complete. And with that, that's everything we've got for you this evening.
Can you refresh my memory? What kind of signage are we going to have besides the things that are on those banner-looking things that stick out? What kind of signage are we going to have that says that's the central office or visitor? Is there going to be a big something?
Right? Is that Matt?
We don't have anything finalized yet on that.
But is
Have
it
we
gonna be
talked
like
about it?
a pedestal sign, or is it mounted onto the building?
We don't have, yeah, we don't
Got it,
have
okay.
anything
We'll
finalized.
Got
probably
it.
finalize that pretty quickly. We'll get
Yeah.
something to you.
So when
Okay.
you said the additional signing, you didn't mean the central office, because that's what I had asked about.
Right, it was our understanding that there was some additional building signage, I think, but I guess the question is if it's on a pedestal or if it's actually mounted to the building, so I think.
Yeah, we
need
don't
to-
have anything,
Okay,
anything further than what's right now.
I understand, okay, so
Yeah.
a
So
little
we
bit
have,
more investigation
we
to
have
be
a
done
signage
here.
package, it's just we need to
Right.
finalize that piece to get to the contractors.
Okay, apologies, I
Okay,
didn't.
so we're
mean to
working
misspeak
on a
that.
signage package.
Right.
We do have all, of course, all the interior signage.
Right.
And stuff yet to come.
Okay, noted.
Okay, thank you. Any
Thank you.
other questions, guys? No? Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so
Thank you
much,
much.
appreciate it.
Bye.
Also,
Dr. Ball,
just so
did you-
everybody knows, the furniture is still scheduled to come in on October 20th.
Okay.
Start in several weeks after that, so we're looking at, right now, we're looking at a moving date sometime in December for staff. And then January, probably be the first official moving date.
Okay,
Next, we have Crewald Elementary, so we have Casey, Chris, Paul, and Dustin are all here to.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Casey Annunzio with Huckabee, and
Paul LaCrosse with Marksman.
And Dustin Dees with Marksman.
we wanted to give you a quick update to how things are going at the Crewald School of the Arts. Seeing a lot of progress. Just a reminder of what the front entry will look like when that work is complete and the new character of the building. We have a phasing plan here that kind of really describes the kind of work that's going on and what will be starting here soon. I don't know, Paul, if you want to say a few words to this phasing plan.
Yeah, so for the phasing right now, we're finishing up the library, that'll be complete September 26th. Yeah, we're currently working in phase 4 right now, which will have a completion date of December 12th. Then we will be moving into phase 5, and then everything in here will be next summer.
Next summer, and the exterior in the front.
Yeah, the
Everything.
Okay. So current activities right now in the library, MEP trim outs being performed. We've got millwork going in on the bench seat in the library. New bookshelf tops will be installed tomorrow. Flooring begins in phase 4. That is the classroom area, the dance hall, and the corridor on 9/18. We have a pre-final for fire is scheduled for next week on 9/24. Door frames and window frames are going in. Damaged sheetrock due to mold and wallpaper is being replaced. That's an ongoing thing. It's starting to look really good in the building where that's being done. New framing of the restrooms and storage in the dance studio is complete. Tape and floating. New water lines being installed. Electrical rough-ins are completed currently. And ceiling grid install will begin on 9/29. So the photos you're about to see are of the library area that's coming along very nicely. The finishes are going in. We're really starting to see that concept take shape. It's very, very exciting. And so here are photos of what those clouds are looking like at the ceiling and the tree as you enter the library. We also have the millwork going in and the countertops. It's a waterfall countertop on the side. We're starting to see that area for book checkout and for the person that's, the librarian to stand and assist students. We're also seeing the shelving going in, more shelving. What you see taped up in black are the windows to the corridors being protected. And then the picture to the right is just a little more distance showing what that tree and clouds are starting to look like in the library for the elementary school students. And then this is just a rendering to kind of remind everybody what that will look like when it's fully complete. And you'll recognize obviously the tree and how that millwork will start to look like a tree trunk. And then when all of the furniture goes in, this is the result. Any questions about that area before I move on? Yeah.
You said you had replaced sheetrock for mold?
So that's part of it. So there's a vinyl that was in all our elementary campuses. It's like a vinyl wallpaper. It tracks mildew and those materials, and so tears or if it gets humidity. So we replaced all that and went back to sheetrock and regular paint because we feel like that material attracts that.
So
Just to
mildew,
prevent mold.
okay, so we didn't have mold.
I don't
In
think
the
we
school.
saw, did we?
I'm just making sure, because when people hear mold, I mean,
Yeah.
that's like serious, so we didn't have that.
No.
Let the record show we have no mold at Greenwell.
Seriously.
Okay,
Phase 4 are the dance room and the classrooms. And we are currently getting that area framed up, getting the sound insulation in, working at the ceiling, getting some of the MEP elements in, the ductwork. I don't know, guys, if you want to talk through these pictures a little bit.
Yeah, so as of right now, all of this is already completed. We got the sheetrock in, we're taking flood in all this area. So we don't have any of that shown right now. And then add the water lines coming in here, so they started having hot water now instead of just the cold water. And we're running all the overhead water and all that. So like I said, this is all completed now, getting taken floated.
Is there additional photos? The one on the right is of the corridor, and the one on the left is in, I think, in one of the classrooms looking into a storage room, I believe.
Yeah, so this is actually sitting in one of the new restrooms. It's going to be accessed from the vestibule. So this is a restroom. He's standing in the new storage room, and then there's a restroom on the other side.
And that's basically the update we have for you today on this phase.
any questions? No, thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Southwest Elementary. Jorge and Stephen are here to do their presentation.
Good evening. My name is Jorge Flores with Garza Baumberger, and here is Steve with Bartlett Cook. This is the Southwest Elementary School renovation project. Phasing plan, phase 1 and phase 2 are complete. And currently, Bartlett Cook is working on phase 3, which is almost complete. Here we are showing the phase 1, that the corridors and the library that is currently finished. Some of the decorations on the tile for the restrooms that has been placed with new partitions. These are the photos for the classrooms with the accent wall painted in the same color as the corridor, and the main entrance and the toilets. Also, they have new partitions. Down here is the orange corridor, and the workroom, teacher's workroom, and one of the, I think is the principal's office that we also put the photo over there. We have more pictures of the finishes of phase 2. And this is for phase 3 that is not longer like that. Bartlett Cook is working very hard and is a little bit ahead of the schedule. We have planned to do a punch visit on October 2nd. So it's a couple weeks from now, and this area is going to be complete as well. More pictures of the library. The library is complete as well. We did the punch 3 weeks ago, and it's finished. And the corridor as well. This is one of the phases. You can see this part back here is dark, and the new part is very light. You can see the difference on the lighting, the original lighting and the old lighting. And that's basically it. We received the air conditioning equipment, so right now they are installing that. And the school never went out of air conditioning, but they are replacing the air conditioning now. All the structure has been reinforced to receive the new air conditioning, which is heavier than the original one. So we are almost done. Any questions?
Any questions? No. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next, we have Elm Creek Elementary. Lawrence and Casey are here.
Good evening. Thank you for your time tonight. I'd like to present an update for Elm Creek Elementary School renovations. I'm here with Joyce, Casey. So we are currently in phase 3. Phase 1 and phase 2 have been completed. To date, we're approximately 41 to 42% of the overall project complete. For this phase 3, we're about 25 to 30% complete. So part of this work includes the library, offices, classrooms, toilet rooms, and corridors. So on the left, you can see an image of the library. This was taken last week. All of the demolition in this phase has been completed. You can see that we're currently working on the spray foam insulation on the ceiling to help with acoustics. We have HVAC ductwork and electrical work and plumbing ongoing. We also have metal stud framing, drywall, and door frames being installed. This corridor on the right is adjacent to the library. You can see that the backer board for the ceramic tile is installed, the drywall, as well as the door frames. So on the left, we have a good example of the status of the typical classrooms. So we have the drywall up. Additionally, same status of the mechanical work, got the duct work pretty far along. Additional materials also being stored on site. Here on the right, you can see some of the plumbing work going on. So Joris has had quite a bit of extensive excavation. So cutting the concrete slab, getting the dirt out, getting the new plumbing lines. We've had some minor adjustments to our plumbing fixtures. So they've done really well on maintaining the schedule. And they are shooting for a, I believe, early December, first, second week December completion to allow time to get in before the end of the year. Any questions for us tonight?
No? Okay. Thank you.
Great, thank you for your time.
Now we have the Juan Alvarado Elementary, and Onell is here with Travis. Everybody likes to see you, Travis.
Oh, no, that's the
Good evening. Very happy to be here today and present the construction update for Alvarado Elementary School. You guys have seen the site plan and the floor plan, so you're familiar with the layout. Progress summary. Earlier on, all we had was construction or concrete and some steel. We were happy to see steel, and there was some piping and whatnot going on. As you can see now, there are a lot more trades that are coming on board. So we have drywall and metal stud framing and CMU and a lot of the things going on, sprinkler pipe, HVAC, ductwork and such. You'll see all that in the photos. So this photo was last board meeting, and this is what you would see today or more recent. This is the library canopy that you see in the renderings. So quite presence. And as you can see, earlier on, we only had, or this was the extent from the last meeting, and you can see now the two-story portion of the building extends all the way to the end of the classroom wing. Looking at the interior of the space, you can see, like I mentioned, framing, piping, sprinkler piping. The interior of the gym is CMU is already considerable amount of CMU has been installed. And looking at the two-story portion, you can see stairways and decking in place. And this week, concrete was poured on the decking. We're still on track to be complete May 2026. And let's see if we can get this to work. Little drone video, kind of see dynamic progress. Any questions?
It's a lot of progress since the last meeting. Looks awesome. You have any questions?
Travis is doing a great job over there.
He is, absolutely.
Still early, I agree.
No questions? Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Last night, we have Rafael, Raul, and Zach are here for the Legacy High School edition.
Yeah.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Mr. President, Dr. Ball, members of the board. For us, it's going to be a very quick presentation based on where we are on the project right now through the last pay application that was submitted through the end of August. We're at about 14%. So we're still very early in the project. We didn't include a lot of photographs based on the work that's out there. They pretty much have completed the foundation recently, so they're ready for steel. We had been saying that by the end of the month, we were going to be receiving steel, but it actually made it to the site. So it's ready on site, and it should be beginning here in I guess this coming week. They're going to start to sort out all the material on site, and then for the following one, they'll start to erect is the plan. So that was a good news that we got today. Let's see. One of the things that we're coordinating with Joris at the moment is going to be probably one of the tedious items that we have on the project, is where we get to do a lot of the controls on the existing campus, and also the fire alarm system. And the intention there is going to be to replace the system and replace the controls throughout the whole campus. And this is trying to do it while the school is active, so we don't interfere with the activities. So right now they're kind of working on the schedule for that, and we'll come back later and present that as far as how they're going to face that work, because the intention is to do it by the time we turn over the building back to you all, everything's complete and it's ready to go. But that's going to be probably the most tedious part. The addition we have on the side, that's going to go quick. We have faith in Joris that they're going to do a good job, build it right and build it very quickly. Some of the photographs, we have very few photos today that you've already seen through the subcommittee, and probably the report that you've seen is that the foundation is done. And then this was our money shot for the week, because a lot of the work that's happening right now is actually in the crawl space, right? You might not be seeing a lot of it on top. A lot of it's happening on top because it's the systems that are tying into the existing system. They did the spray insulation on the underside. Now they're doing the connections to the hydronic piping, to the connections to the electrical, and that's the majority of the work that's happening underground before the steel comes up, and then we'll move upstairs. I mean, overall, the project's on schedule and on track, so I don't know if there's anything else that you want to add, Zach, that I might have missed. Well, one thing that we did review today was the coordination of the work that's going to start at the canopies by the weld shop, because we're adding that canopy. So some of that work is going to start to take place. Some construction fence is going to go out there so they can start some of the piers for that structure out there. That's going to be coming up fairly soon.
Any questions, guys? No? Thank you, Rafael.
Thank you all.
That concludes all our construction updates.
Okay. All right, moving on to monthly tax report.
Yes, so August is close to the end, so we're at 98.5%. Last year, we were around 97%. So we have a little bit, another collection this month, and we're hoping to end around 99.5% total collections. So it's a good year.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Monthly financial report. If y'all have questions on that, y'all can get with Brandon or Scott. Monthly investment report, they gave it to y'all. It's on in front of you. Any questions on that? report on gifts and bequests, that's there also. Enrollment report. Any questions on, stop me if you have questions on those things. Review purchases over 50,000. Okay, moving on to item H. 2025, 2026 application for maximum class size exception for elementary schools.
So I'm going to ask for Mary Lou Hernandez to come up. She's provided you each a blue folder so that you have that.
Good evening, board members and Dr. Ball and senior staff. This is an item of information regarding class size waivers. State law limits kindergarten through fourth grade classes to 22 students per teacher. Our District of Innovation plan gives us the flexibility to go up to 23-1 for that ratio. This fall, 6 elementary campuses have classrooms that exceed that 23-1 ratio. Because these classes are above both the state limit and our DOI flexibility, we have submitted 6 class size waivers to TEA. Parents of those students will be notified as required by law, and we will continue to monitor class counts and work with the different departments to see if we need reroutes or things like that for class sizes. And these are the campuses right here that we've submitted the waivers for. They're Bob Hope Elementary, Elm Creek Elementary, Sky Harbor Elementary, Southwest Elementary, Spicewood Park Elementary, and Sun Valley Elementary. Any questions?
No. Thank you, Mary Lou.
Thank you.
Okay, review of strategic priorities and goals.
Yes, myself and senior staff will be doing this, and we would have a handout for you and also a PowerPoint. Last year, we started by developing some strategic goals that we set together as a board and the superintendent, and we gave an update last year in the spring, and now that we have clear data, we'd like to give you another update, and Ms. Parsons to start off.
Just to make sure you know that you also have a one-pager at your area with our strategic priorities. So you guys will remember our strategic priorities. We did that in cooperation with not only a work session that we have with the board, but also with multiple stakeholder groups, including parent groups, including teacher groups in the ESAC, including DIT, and also the principal and AP groups. When we did that, we created 4 strategic areas that we wanted to concentrate, that we thought that would really bring a change to the work that we do. So our focuses were, number 1, to retain, recruit, and develop talent, which is our employees area, making sure that we invest in our human capital that we have. Number 2 would be to improve academic performance, because that is how we're rated by our success of student outcomes. Number 3, optimizing fiscal and operational efficiencies, and making sure that we take a look at our operations and do and be really good servants of the money that we're investing. Number 4 is to foster a safe and supportive environment to ensure the culture and climate that's in this district is supportive of all students and their growth. After that, we were able to come up with actual SMART goals that had data behind each one. And so we're here to present to you our results of the 2024-25. So the first one is retain and recruit, develop talent. That was under administration and human resources. And our goal was to ensure that we had more participation and teacher and employee voices when we had surveys of how they felt about working in the district. As you can see, it started off with 79% of employees did the survey the year before, and we wanted a goal of 82%. We actually met our goal. We had 88% of all employees, including every auxiliary, bus driver, any employee, do this survey. So we were able to get more feedback from them. So we were able to get more voices in what is truly a climate in the departments, in the campuses, so that we can make some good change to retain more people. Secondly, we created a plan to ensure that we had more retention of teachers. As you know, there's a teacher shortage around.
And the longer we keep experienced teachers who are already trained, the better investment it is. And so our goal was to move from 80% to 82. And as you were at New Teacher Academy, you saw that we had very few new teachers come in. We were able to retain. We made a goal of 92%. And those were not counting the retirements, because retired people, we allow that. And the DOIs that lost their certification because they weren't able to be certified. With the people who were eligible to come back, we were at 92%.
Okay, so our next goal is priority number 2, improve academic performance. And so our goals were based on specific percent increases. So for goal number 1, we put there, we did partially meet that goal. So initially we wanted to have a 6% increase for approaches and a 5% increase for meets. We were able to get some a growth increase, which we do celebrate that. That's what we're saying it's partial. We did have a 3% increase and a 1% increase. So this is why we put there, it's a partially met goal.
Real quick, what did you say? Our goal was 5 and we got 3?
For approaches, the goal was 6%.
Okay.
And we got 3% increase.
Okay.
For meets, the goal was 5% increase and we got a 1% increase.
Okay, 5%.
And that's for reading.
Okay.
Now for goal number 2 for math, we did not meet our goal. And again, the goal was set for us to move up and an increase for approaches of 6%. We did have a 3% decline. And then for meets, our goal was to increase also with 5%, but we had a 1% decline. So we currently have a new curriculum with Group on it, and we're making very specific strategic movements with that, along with a lot of training that happened during the summer. And then also just with NIET, which is our partner, we are working with our campuses, still providing training for our principals and our teachers in order for us to have a systemic change when it comes to math. And goal number 3, we are able to celebrate that we did meet this goal. We do not have any F campuses. So every single campus that we did have last year, either an F or a D, they did move up. So we do celebrate the campuses that moved even 2 and 3 letter grades up. We did have Resnick with an F, and now they're in a 4C with great growth. McCullough moved from a D to a C. Scobie moved from a D to a B. Buckle moved from a D to a C. And Hinkle moved from a D to a B. So we do a lot of hard work went into this, and so we do not have any F campuses.
How close was Resnick to the C?
So Resnick, I believe it was 2, and it was just, when it says force to D, it was in a very specific target area. And so that's in the closing the gaps, there's specific percentages that they have to meet. So they would have been able to get that C just because of the growth that they did have.
Yeah, I want to acknowledge that because
Yes.
Resnick really deserved to go from an F to a C. But all the data, I know that, but she's not here anymore. But congratulations to Resnick for doing that.
So the celebration is that they have an 18% growth, which is our only number 2 part of the category. And so we did put in a lot of work into this, but there's other strategic components to this. In the domain part 3, which is close to the gaps, and that's the area that we are working really hard in. Ms. Passmore, along with her team, they're working really hard to make that change.
Did you say 18% growth?
18%.
Okay. Do y'all have any questions on the academic stuff?
For the strategic priority number 3, Brandon and I share that because they come through our pupil services department. And so our goal was to improve attendance from 91.8% to 92.8%. As you know that this is only preliminary data. It's not the official data until it comes from the state. Right now, we are not targeted to meet that. We were on track to meet that up until January when the executive orders came out, and then we had a dramatic decline in attendance in particular areas, and we never recovered from that. Even 5 days of students not coming based on something like that, or like a emergency at a campus or bad weather, really produces a 1 to 2% less score. We did make growth in that area, so we will be targeting attendance again as a goal for ourselves.
You know how sometimes we apply for waivers for that? We couldn't do that because of the executive order?
No, waivers are very specific to emergencies, to weather, to something that happens that is a safety issue. We couldn't even do it for days where we knew that we were going to have emergencies in other places. So they're very, very specific and targeted for that.
Okay.
So the second part of this goal was last year we set a goal to, we had a roughly a $13 million deficit that we adopted last year. And our goal was, not knowing what the state of Texas was going to do at the legislative session, is that we would reduce over the next 3 years, $4 million per year to get us out of our own deficit. And so being at 12.9 at the end of last year, adopting that budget, this year we were able to adopt a deficit of 3.3 million, which is a reduction of that of 9.5. That includes what happened at the state level. So we exceeded our goal. Our goal still would be to get to a balanced budget at this point going into next year. There is some work to do around that. At the same time, trying to stay competitive with salaries, but also opening up a new campus. And so there's going to be some things that we're going to talk about on what that goal should be for next year and what the reality of that is. So pretty proud of it. I want to thank the committee, the budget committee that was a part of it, and all the staff that worked through it to get us where we are today on the budget.
And I know on that committee, that number was actually a lot closer to zero, but there was a lot of stuff that we had to add and that raised that number.
Correct. We actually got to ourselves 4 million, but then we went back and did a contribution for insurance that got us back under the 4 million. But then we were really close to doing the 4 million on our own, right under it. And then with obviously what the state did, it's helped us narrow that gap.
Under the strategic priority number 4, which follows the fostering a safe and supportive environment, the goal number 1 was really that each campus adopted a behavior matrix that aligned with each other throughout the whole campus. I'm happy to report that we met that goal, that each campus did provide me with their plan. Those plans were submitted to TEA, so we met that goal by the end of the year. On the second goal, the goal was really to cut down on the gap between initial referrals that were put in and how many of them actually qualified. So at the beginning of the year, we sat at about 6%. The goal was to move to about 4.5%. We actually ended the year at 4.1%, so we met that goal for this year.
And the goal 3, we came up with this goal kind of mid-year, and this was really for a goal for this year. And so this one's not scored based on when we came up with this goal last year, and this was dealing with our safety audits, like the door checks where the state comes in and checks. Last year, we had some campuses that did not meet that part of that goal for us. So we're using this for this year. And so right now we've already had 3, Bob Hope, Castem, and Elm Creek, and they've all passed. So our goal is to have 90% of our campuses. We want 100%, but 90% we feel like is an attainable goal for sure, to have all the safety audits, the door checks pass, and that we do everything required by law.
And just so you know, these are the surprise audits, right?
Correct. These are the surprise audits. It's a little bit more in depth now. You have to have your door logs available and have that all ready and when they show up, because you could fail because you don't have that. You have to have people know where those are. So we're making sure that we're ready for those and we're providing the safety that we need at our campuses.
And then we have Bob Hope and Elm Creek doing construction.
Correct. And
too,
so it was really,
yeah.
And we were having some issues at Castem because they got construction going on. So all 3 sites are a mess. So all 3 did wonderful. So we're proud of that.
Thank you.
So overall, we're very proud of the successes that we've made in our strategic priorities, and everybody's on track to be able to meet and accomplish the new goals that we'll establish for this year. And so our next steps would be to take the data that we have and review all of our current and trending historical data to set priorities for the 2025-26 school year, and then establish a dashboard, as you guys saw Dodie Maddox created for you, so that we could monitor the data throughout the year and keep track of the trajectory of everything, and then report to the board periodically on the progress toward all those established goals that we approved.
Okay, and then the math, I know you said we have new curriculum, and So you'll present a detailed plan on how y'all plan to get those numbers up? Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Francis. Okay, moving on to Administration and Human Resources, consider the approval of the amendments to the District of Innovation Plan.
Yes, I know this falls under Ms. Bartolus, and I think that's Mr. Ramirez, can you share this?
Good evening, board members, Dr. Ball, senior leaders. Recent legislation imposed or ushered in some new requirements for school districts throughout the state. And our current District of Innovation Plan has always allowed us some flexibility and the ability to be exempted from some of those requirements. To address some of the more recent requirements, we are actually proposing several additional amendments to our current innovation plan. So if you look at page 3, we included some information about each one of these proposed amendments. If you look at page 3, one of those amendments involves our current our grievance policy. This particular amendment affects mainly policy F and G for students and parents, with the idea that most likely would also later on impact our DGBA policy for employees and then GF for community. And so what the new requirement states is that, or what it does is it actually gives parents additional time to submit grievances for any complaints that they may have. Right now, our current policy, or previously our policy allowed for 15 days from the date of an incident that gave rise to a complaint. With this new legislation, parents have up to 60 and sometimes 90 days. And so that's one thing that this particular requirement kind of ushered in. And so another thing related to our grievance policy is the ability for complainants to actually include some additional material and documentation and in the middle of the grievance process, which in some cases, in most cases, many cases, we've actually already allowed. What we are requesting in this particular amendment is that we keep our current policy or the previous policy, which really limited the timeline to 15 days, okay, from the date of an incident. Rather than 60 to 90 days. The reason for that is because a lot of times when we conduct investigations regarding parent complaints, we often find that a lot of the evidence that we're looking for to be able to fully consider a complainant's concerns is really lost or it's gone. You know, video footage may not be available anymore. Our people who are listed as witnesses may no longer be enrolled in the district, or they may no longer be employed in the district. So to best be able to address a complainant's concerns, we're really looking at keeping with the previous policy where we limit the timelines. So another part of the request here, the proposed amendment, is that while DGBA complaints allow for a level 4 presentation to the board, our FNG for students and parents, that process allows for a level 3 presentation to the board. To make it consistent, we're actually proposing that we also create a level 4 or allow a complaint to the board to go to level 4 even with students and parents. So,
Can you say that again?
so right now there are 4 levels for employees of the grievance process. Parents and students have 3 levels. So to be consistent across the board or across both policies, we're asking that there also be 4 levels for students and parents as well.
What
So-
are the 4 levels?
Typically, the lowest level administrator will hear the level 1 that is filed. That could be a campus principal if it's if it's a parent. Level 2 will typically go to a department leader or somebody in central office. And then after that, for students and parents, it goes to the board. Employees have an additional step. What it does, the third step, the third level for employees is a panel. So there'll be a panel of leaders or individuals who will hear a level 3. And then level 4 would be the board, just like for employees.
Okay, so we're going to establish a panel for parents?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's part of the
So
proposed
we're now level 4.
Correct.
We were level 3.
Correct.
Okay, now we're level 4. Okay.
The next amendment, any questions about grievances?
Well, do we have to adopt this today? Is this like time sensitive?
It is because it actually, the new policy went into effect September 1st.
Okay.
We have to operate on the new policy. We just want to really adopt what we were already doing. And so right now, we can't operate that. We're operating under the new law, which is we can't effective September 1st.
Okay, and because we're a DOI, we can
We can revert
stick
back
with
to
what we're
we've
doing?
been doing.
Yes.
Some of the issues that we're really looking into, and I went to the grievance trainings that happened over a conference, is if you have somebody who applies for, somebody who comes up with a grievance in September, by the time you get through all of the different levels that are in this new system, sometimes the board would not hear evidence on that until April because of all of the dates, because they get more days to write, more days to review, more days to hold on to it. And by that time, if a parent has a complaint about something, we want to solve it as quickly as possible to the time in which the complaint was filed, not half a year away where they think that we've actually ignored the situation. Because something happened at the beginning of the year, most of the times with the way that our grievance policy works now, we can solve it in the fall. And we could have it done in the first semester if it's a first semester issue. Right now, you're looking at people who do something in the spring, won't get that resolved until the next school year.
But, so if I'm a parent and something happens at my kid's school, right now I have 10 days to bring it to your attention?
15.
It's half a
15.
month.
Okay, 15 days. And then you have so many days to get back to me, right? Like 10 days or something. So the state is saying now we have the option to give the parents 60 to 90 days, calendar days?
It's not an option. They would get 60 days unless they're.
Well,
working
it's
on
an
it.
option for us because we're DOI.
Correct, yes.
Okay, so, but they can still do it in 10 days and then they still have that, from that 10 days, we still have the whatever, 15, what, I don't remember what you said,
15 days, yes.
So we're not saying that if we give them 60 days, I don't want to be cut, I don't, it's drastic, the number of days that the state is saying they should get, and then we're saying, no, you don't get 90 days, you only get 15. So I want to be very clear on why we're doing it as opposed to making it look like we're just saying, you know, we're not being customer friendly.
And the idea is to just bring resolution as quickly as possible. And you know, it's not about just going through the process and being done with the process. We've had parents who have said, you know, well, what happened? Why aren't you able to get this evidence? Can't you pull video? Well, at this point, we can't pull video. And so a lot of times that's made the situation worse because now they're thinking, oh, you just don't want to show us video. No, it's not that at all. It's just that we've lost the ability to pull video that you know, initially we could. But because of timelines, that would make it even more difficult to go back and get evidence, you know, get statements and things like that. You know, you've got students who may not even remember that something happened in a classroom or on campus.
Right. I guess my concern is the example you gave, Francis, is that if they bring it up in April, we don't have a resolution until whatever he's like, or 90 days. But that's really only if the parent submits it like 90 days, right? It's not, it's if they submit it within 5 days, then of course the resolution's going to come way before the.
Well, the resolution part will come earlier, but they're giving them longer times to actually file the next level and the next level, and there's a longer period for that. So if you think about school being about 20 days of a calendar, and you know, between 21, 22 days, they're giving them 20 days. So it's a month, and then another month, and then another month. And so we're adding different levels to it. If people really want witness statements of either children or employees, it's very hard to get. There's a lot of times that we'll receive a complaint about something that happened last year, and they're asking us to go back and look for data. And those witnesses that they give us a list do not remember something from 6 months ago, 5 months ago, 3 months ago. We're asking to be able to do a really good investigation, that we work on the timeliness. As soon as a parent knows a complaint, we work as quickly as possible to get as much data as possible. But if something is brought up 3 months after something happens, the likelihood of finding good evidence at that time or good recall of eyewitness is very hard to get.
Right. So my argument there would be, then that would be the parents, for lack of a better word, fault for waiting so long to submit it. But I just worry that since the state is being so generous and then we're being more stringent or whatever, that we're okay to override the state.
Yes. So we do have flexibility to do that. Other districts have already done that. I went
Okay.
to the training, so other districts have done that. In addition to that, I want to make it very clear that at no time has a parent come to us or an employee come to us to give us a complaint in which we're like, you're past the deadline, we're not even going to look into it. We have always taken a complaint very seriously, and if they have a legitimate complaint, whether or not they're able to file a grievance, we take that matter and investigate it because we need to make it right or better. And sometimes we can't go to the grievance because it's not timely, but we can still look into the matter.
Okay.
We actually have that incident happen this year, where somebody came from something that happened last spring, and we still took the time to investigate it.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Oh, you can keep going. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Oh, keep going. Okay, the next requirement that's been imposed on districts is involves the GPA calculation. The Commission of Education has developed a standard method for calculating GPA. And one of the things that we're doing is seeking an exemption to actually continue using our existing and current process for calculating GPA. The concern is that if we do change at this point, we're worried that it may negatively impact existing students' GPAs. The next exemption would involve board approval of library materials. Currently, the districts must submit proposed library material acquisitions to the board for approval. What we're asking for here is that we continue with our current process where District Library Services actually vets materials. They'll continue with posting proposed acquisition materials online on our website for parent review. They'll also give parents opportunities for opting out, and we'll also make available checkout histories as well. So, as well as providing an annual summary report of acquisitions. The next amendment involves the appraisal and professional development system for professionals. Currently, districts are required to appraise, evaluate professionals annually. And so what our amendment is, what this amendment would seek is a change in that. Those campuses who actually, or let me rephrase that, those employees who have actually met expectations consistently on A and B campuses, we have the option of evaluating them non-annually. Okay, in other words, we don't have to evaluate them every single year if they've shown that they've consistently met expectations and they're on an A or B campus. What that would do is that would allow administrators to kind of focus a lot of the time that is spent evaluating all employees in other areas that may be needed on campus. And so that amendment really gives us the flexibility to devote some of that time in other areas. What we will say here, though, is that all professionals, however, will still have comprehensive walkthroughs conducted during the school year. And for those who request, maybe may not need an evaluation, but request it because maybe they want to increase or achieve a higher effectiveness rating for the Texas incentive allotment, then they can certainly request to be evaluated so that they can achieve that higher rating. The next amendment is actually related to a previous amendment that we had in our current District of Innovation Plan, where we look to hire people who are not certified in certain areas to fill hard-to-place positions. And so what we did is, in the past, we included core content areas in addition to areas like CTE, librarians, and so forth. And so with the recent legislation, we're no longer able to hire non-certified teachers for core content areas. And so what we're doing here is kind of doing away with the previous amendment and including this amendment to remove core content teachers from that consideration and that exemption. We'll still be able to consider hiring non-certified people in the areas of CTE, librarians, dual credit, and non-core content areas. But we do have to remove the non-content area individuals as far as from the hiring process. So, any questions?
How does that affect the people that we hire that go through the, I mean, I don't even know if they still have Texas teachers, but say they did. So they sign up with that company, they take a couple of tests, and then you can hire them to teach. Can we not do that now?
So we
Because they're
still-
not certified?
We still can. So there's an ability now, it'll go back to what we call an old school method, which is allowing them to get a permit. So they'll have a permit from a year, and so that permit is just like a certification.
Okay.
They hold a permitted certification with them, and so it's for 1 year.
Okay.
And so it allows them the opportunity to be a teacher and to be certified. There are certain subjects that you can't get permitted in, but if they have the credit hours, they're able to get it. So they get a letter of eligibility from their organization. And then from there, they're able to come into a school district. So that is still in place for that, but for the extra additional years that we provided in our flexibility, we don't have that ability anymore.
Okay.
So at this time, we're asking that the board consider the approval of the amendments to our current District of Innovation Plan.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to consider the approval of the amendments to the District Innovation Plan. Do we have any other questions or discussion? No? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no? Okay, thank you, Adrian.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to business and finance. Consider approval of amendments to the 2025-26 compensation plan.
Yes, ma'am. We have a couple adjustments that we want to make to our compensation plan. One of them is changing the actual pay scale for our librarian aide. This is specifically for a campus that doesn't have a librarian. It's not for the library that works with the librarian, because when we are missing a librarian, the aide steps in and kind of takes on more of those duties. And so we want to increase that on our scale and have a separate library aide that's at a different level that is in that situation. We're fixing our salary structure on some of our professional skills. So when we gave you the raise, this would be with people with a lot of experience. They might go outside the maximum range, so we needed to adjust that. And so it doesn't change their pay or anybody's pay. Do we just have to fix our scale so for our system? There's a campus testing facilitator. We're moving that to a campus professional support skill. This because that new position is a non-certified position, so we're adjusting that. And then there's a required reading academy stipend that we have to pay now due to legislation. It's $50 an hour. Any employee that has to go through a reading academy on their own time that goes to TEA or to Region 20 or to do these reading academies, we have to compensate them as part of the new law. And then we had to add a stipend in for our video boards for our football games. It's a $1,000 stipend for an individual that's helping us with all the things that go on a Friday night. So we're asking the board to approve these recommendations and amend the compensation plan.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the amendments to the 25-26 compensation plan. Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no? Thank you. Consider approval of a partnership agreement with the CAST Network.
Yeah, so everybody knows that we have a great partnership with the CAST Network, with CAST-M High School currently at Palo Alto College. We initially had a MOU or partnership agreement back in 2017, I believe, when we started. I can't remember now. Was it 2017? 2018. And that was part of when we also the generosity of CAST Network and HEB giving us the money. So a lot of that had that MOU had a lot of that in there in the verbiage and how we operated. And it's kind of ran out its time. So we're creating a new one that kind of shows the roles and responsibilities of CAST Network and Southwest ISD, who's responsible for what are we supposed to do, what is CAST Network about. And so I want to bring up Jackie. Is Jackie, you going to talk? All right, come on up, Jackie. And also give a quick update on CAST and let her kind of explain a little bit. And Gene Russell as well.
Thank you. Good evening, board, Dr. Ball, and senior staff. So we just wanted to provide an update and a few highlights as we start the year off. Okay, so just a few things that we pride ourselves on is our career-connected learning and outside experiences. So throughout this summer, we're proud to say that we had 17 internship or work-based learning opportunities that our students were able to complete. 8 students completed the AMT program with Toyota. And so we had 8 students from CASTEM representing Southwest ISD. The other 8 were from Alamo Academy. So we had the biggest group that was represented there. 4 students had an internship with SA Works, 1 with Southwest Research Institute, and then we had 3 with Dancer this summer. 1 student completed the Valero Young Scientist Program at Texas Biomed, which is a very competitive program to get into. And then we had 2 students who completed the Tapia Camp at Rice University. And then this fall, we currently have, for the first time, we're working with our partners, and we have students that are doing internships. We currently have 3 that are with Toyo Tetsu. So they go every Tuesday, Thursday. They start the day there at 6:30 in the morning. Then they're bussed over or driven or bussed over to our campus afterwards. We have 1 that's doing an internship with CAS Schools, and then 2 with local businesses. And then we're also trying to partner with Palo Alto to see what other additional opportunities our students who are there who may have trouble with transportation, trying to integrate them into the campus there at Palo Alto and provide those career experiences for them. We're proud to say we have an A rating with 2 distinctions. And so we earned those distinctions in comparative academic growth and closing the gap. So our goal is to continue to maintain that A and shoot for the 7 distinctions. Our class of 2026 projections, right now, we have 100% that will graduate college and career ready based on our CCMR indicators. 100% that will graduate with at least 9 college credit hours. So being at Palo Alto is paying off. We're able to put them in the classes at least 9 hours. 85% will graduate with an internship experience, so some type of work-based learning experience. And 95%, as of right now, will graduate from Palo Alto with either an associate's or a level 1 certificate. So we're being very strategic in making sure that there is some type of completion as students continue their courses there at Palo Alto.
Jackie, how many students do you have over there now?
So right now we have 236 is our total enrollment. And so just to give you a snapshot, we have our biggest 9th grade class right now at 103. So, which puts our enrollment at 236. We're at 56 seniors. So, we'll lose those seniors this year. So definitely we'll be closer to around 350 next year. Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to say thank you, board. As Brandon noted, it's been since 2018, so this has been a pretty long relationship, and we've bounced around to a lot of different places, and we really appreciate the vision of the board and the superintendent in putting us at Palo Alto College, and we think it's just paid off in spades. And then, as you saw the enrollment numbers, that's really a tribute to the collaboration we had with the district last year and really working closely with middle schools. And so we think the best is yet to come. We're offering a real value proposition for students who want a different kind of environment, but we also hope that the collaboration will help spread sort of different STEM approaches and career-connected learning across the entire district. So we're looking at additional ways to partner this year. So we wanted to thank you for that.
Thank you, Jackie.
So we're asking the board to approve the recommendation of the agreement with CAS Network.
Okay. Daniel moves.
Second.
Okay, are there any other questions or no? All those, so we're considering approval of partnership agreement with the CAS Network. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no? Thank you. Consider approval for the Juan Alvarado Elementary School site's permanent power.
Yes, ma'am. CPS is the district's power provider throughout the district. They're the only game in town. So we are currently working with them to get our 3-phase power brought in from their easement into the Alvarado Elementary. So it's a combination of overhead to the edge of our property and then an underground duct bank that goes into the actual CPS transformer on site. So the fee to extend that permanent power is $95,638.93. That will be funded by the 2023 bond funds. So our recommendation is that the board approve that amount of $95,638.93 to CPS so we can bring permanent power into the job site.
I moved. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve paying the CPS fees for permanent power extensions at Juan Alvarado. All those in favor say, well, sorry, any questions about that? No. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you. Consider approval to update CH local purchasing and acquisition.
Yeah, so part of the new legislation, the state of Texas approved to move procurement, which is competitive bidding, to $100,000. So an example is if we were going out for a product or a goods or service that costs more than $100,000 over a 12-month aggregate year, we would have to competitively bid that out. And so we would either do with our own bidding system, our own procurement method, or we would be part of a co-op that had already done that for us. And so the other piece of that is once we do that, in the past, it was 50,000. And then after, if it was 50,000 and we procured it through one of those means that I talked about, then we also have to bring it to the board if we purchase something single, one-time purchase for 50,000. So it really aligned. So when the state moves it to 100, or just to make sure that we're in line and so employees understand all that, is we're asking the board to approve to move a single purchase to 100,000. So that it aligns with the competitive bidding and the procurement process, so that people are aware of what, similar to what we've been doing. But because of the size of our district, and I think the state realizes the size of a lot of districts that operate and purchase lots of things and lots of items, is it helps move things faster, but also we follow under procurement law and follow board policy. So the recommendation is to approve, if you are willing to move the threshold from 50,000 to 100,000.
Yeah, so that affects the report that we always get that says purchases over 50,000. So now it's going to be purchases over 100,000. And you're,
And then anytime even when we go out for a bid and do procurement, anything that costs 100,000 or more, we would be bringing that to the board as either an item on consent if we've been doing it for a while, or if it's going to be a new product, we would put it on a regular agenda, one of ours, and present it.
So y'all can just go out and, without board approval, anything you want for under 100,000.
Under 100,000, a single purchase.
we still have to, we still get the report on it.
Correct.
Okay. I need a motion.
Second.
Okay. We have a first and a second to approve the update to CH local purchasing and acquisition. All those in favor, any more questions? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no? Okay, motion carries. Consider approval of school colors and mascot for Juan Alvarado Elementary.
So we're really excited about this opportunity. We spent a lot of time looking at the data that we had from the survey that was done, looking at what our current mascots are, working with the new principal also. And we would like for the board to approve what we're about to show you. So this would be the mascot if the board approves it.
Oops. Oh, Roger, don't go to the end.
It is a two-tone blue with silver, and then it would be a lion mascot that we are recommending for the board.
The smiling one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got a little grin.
Yeah, he's grinning.
Yes.
So then you'll get that, if it's approved, you'll get that over to the architects and they'll run with it. Okay.
Travis right there. You can take it with him and give him a picture.
Oh, okay. All right, so we need a motion. Okay, so we have a motion and a second to approve the school colors
I can see it, sorry.
and the mascot for Juan Alvarado Elementary.
I think you got Juan's eyes.
Okay, do we have any legitimate questions or concerns? No? Okay, so all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no? Thank you. Consider approval of the purchase of school buses.
Yes, ma'am. In line with our bond program, last year we put out a bid, an RFP actually for transportation supplies, equipment, and buses. And so we're bringing the board to approve the purchase of 6 72-passenger diesel buses, fully air-conditioned, seat-belted, 3 special need buses, and 1 activity bus for a total price of $1.538,600, $1.5 million, funded from the 2023 bonds.
I need a motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. When we purchase the buses, if it passes in a minute, how long does it take to get the buses?
We should, it depends. So sometimes they've come in 3 months and sometimes it's been 6 to 8 months.
6 to 8 months. So it's still a real long
Yeah,
lead time.
it takes a little while.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion and a second to purchase the school buses. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you. Consider approval of media equipment for the new central office building.
Correct. So part of the last part of the purchases for the new central office building is all the AV equipment that's required in all our conference rooms and some of the other spaces that you may, like lobby areas, TVs, et cetera. And then setting up our boardroom to host board meetings and the media that's going to be allowed in there that also will correlate into the professional development part of it. So creating an atmosphere of AV that we can use for board meeting, but at the same time can be used for different professional development times. And so that cost is roughly $130,000, and that's going to be from the 2023 bond funds. And so we're recommending that we use Bloom, who was the best bidder, came in for the best value for the district for the audiovisual solution for this new central office project.
Okay. Okay, I need a motion. We have a motion and a second. Does that include all the equipment that Jenny's gonna need for her own little, or are we taking our old stuff?
She has, this equipment will be for just conference rooms and in the boardroom. They
Okay.
use the stuff, they'll be using that and they'll be running that for the boardroom. Now,
Jenny's staying over here though, right?
no, well, if we need to, we can discuss that.
No.
But they have some AV equipment they're going to be taking that we've already purchased to use in some of their spaces.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we have a motion and a second to approve the purchase of the audiovisual solution equipment for Bloom. Any other questions? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you. We have nothing under curriculum instruction, nothing under special programs. Do I need to say that whole thing because of the new rules?
The numbers.
Okay. All right. So as permitted by do I need to say one more thing? Okay, sorry, one more thing.
So we have a lot of things coming up. Tomorrow we have our first growth and planning meeting. I just want to remind that the member for that is Sylvester, Flo, and Daniel, and Ms. Adokan, you're the alternate in case Mr. Vasquez can't make it. We also have tomorrow's SHAC meeting.
What's the time for tomorrow? Just so.
6. And here in the boardroom.
Oh, okay.
Here in the boardroom. Tomorrow is also SHAC, and we have Ms. Bernal that represents us on the SHAC meeting. On Friday, we have the curriculum and instruction meeting, and represented there by Mr. Carrillo, Ms. Adokan, and Ms. Bernal. So we have those. We also have a legacy football game on Thursday. Then Friday is Southwest Homecoming. And then all of y'all got a little flyer. You were invited to the fire station is having their grand opening that is coming up. And also, I will remind you about this, but we did not have a board meeting scheduled for December. But since we don't have brown bags, we will need one in December, so we will have that on December the 16th.
The 16th, okay. Okay, so as permitted by sections 551.001-551.146 of the Texas Government Code, we'll go into closed session at 7:28. We're gonna go back into open session at 8:05. We'll go back to item 9. I'm sorry, item 11.
That's it? That's the one?
Yeah.
I move that we approve the superintendent's recommendation on personnel to include Daniel Choate as Director of Finance.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. We will close the meeting, adjourn the meeting at 8:06.